Here I am. For those who don't know me or never heard from me before, you see, I am one of those survivors. The first survivor that with the motivation that my survival has to be useful for those who are following the same path that I went through. You see, I've been living my life for a while, since I was a child. No idea what it's gonna be like, how I'm gonna be, how I'm gonna grow up to be. You see, but circumstances has made me who I am. Circumstances has made me who I have become. So I become one of those people on the street. Yes, sir. Keep going and doing the next right thing to survive. You know what I'm saying? In the street mentality, get a life. But at the same time, as the time passed by, I lost myself. Lost myself with depression and anxiety because I can't see the future. I was blinded. See, this is a couple years later now. It's a couple years later, in particularly, back in the days, I end up to travel one country to another, keep trying to running from myself. But I found out that you can't run from yourself. You can run, that you can run, but you can't hide from yourself. You see, wherever you go, here you go. You see, there's something in us sometimes when we start to run away from ourselves, when we're not comfortable with our own skin, something is wrong within us, and that is what have to be changed. It's not the outside, your environment, or whatever place you're going to run to. It's it's what is inside of us, because that's what needs to be changed. Because you can be anywhere. If your spirit is pure, your purity will shine. And you don't have to follow into temptation of this world, to do what is that causes a lot of hard consequences and bad choices. So you see, in my experience and in my research, I found out as a human being, God never made a junk. God never made drug addict. God never made us to fail. God made us full capable of success. I mean, what I'm saying is not if you have like mental health or some kind of dysfunctional challenges, other disorders and stuff like that. But even those two, those who have those mental capacity that hinder them from success, even those, if they become honest with themselves, them too, they can find a way to conquer their limitation, either by taking medication or any other outside help that they needed. Because our world right now is more advanced in a technology, in a lot of research have happened, and now we're more advanced. People don't have to die in a lot of stuff. People don't die for AIDS anymore as they used to die. People don't die for HIV anymore as they used to die. People can live. Even people survive with cancer nowadays. See, there is a lot of hard diseases people can cure from that. So some simple diseases like addiction is absolutely can be arrested. Even though for many addicts like out there, I'm talking about addiction because I can say myself I'm an expert on that department. You know what I mean? Yes, there's so many things in life that we can talk about. But for me, I choose myself to expertise in addiction because I did a lot of research. I did a lot of experience in this department. I suffer in this department. I'm one of the wounded healer that I went to the point that I can't tell what is not. It's like phenomena. I was in a point where, when they in a most of addiction community or culture, they say that you have to reach a bottom. I was trying to look for that bottom. I searched for that bottom for many years. And I tell the truth, I didn't find the bottom. I only figured out that, hell, some people maybe do. It depends how strong, how tough you are, how good hustler you are, how survivor you are. Like some people, like me, there's no bottom. I go on, my bottom will be there. So in order for me to get out from that, I have to stop digging right now. And that is when I went and knocked at the door of Cordova Dictos, downtown Vancouver East Side. You know what I mean? It was 1999. You know what I mean? And that time, I know exactly where it's coming. It's like most of the elder in downtown East Side that they were able to talk to me. They say people like you, they don't live here because you kind of feel like you belong here. This is your home, man. You either die, you stab, you kill, or get killed. That's your life, man. And you may live for a long time. And they say like they give me examples. Some people like who've been there, they come that young like I was. They say, see that guy there? He's like now maybe 60 something, and at that time I was like just 20 something. And they say that guy, he came here like you, like your age. You know what I mean? And he's still here. And I see myself, yes, I'm capable. Because I'm not kind of violence guy, or I'm not kind of like a guy that I rob people, run away from people, cause chaos. I'm kind of guy, I'm very good in manipulation. I'm very good on keeping people closer. I'm very good to make people friends. You know what I mean? So I can help, and I get helped, and and I live that life. That's my life, and I don't need anything like part of the bag of water. I walk alone. You know what I mean? I don't trust nobody. You know what I mean? And those are my survival skill. I don't trust nobody. I walk alone, but I can help anybody, and anybody can help me. Stuff like that. But at the same time, that was my downfall. Because I have this body system that I grow up for a long time that I can't do by myself. I have to have somebody. I have to bear my body, And then when it comes to recovery now, I learned something opposite. You see, recovery is very personal. It's very personal. We are in it this, yes, you heard that you say, yeah, this is a weak program. We can't do this alone. We have to be with others. But I as individual, alone, I have to choose myself to grab from the we. As individual, I have to make the effort to mingle with the we. I as individual, I have to make the effort to coping skill from the we. How they did it, how other did it, because that's when the fellowship become at hands, because I can see others like me succeed. I can see others like me how they fail, and I can learn from those we, But at the same time, I, as individual, I am responsible for my recovery, and I am responsible for my failure. So until a person come to the term of taking full responsibility, recovery is still shaky. Because he can blame others. They didn't answer my phone. They were not there when I was struggling. They didn't come to see me when I was sick. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. They, them. You know what I mean? Her, she. But the truth is, I am fully responsible for my life. Everything I do, everything I say, every walk, every move I make, you see, I am responsible. And that's what the beginning of recovery. So if you're new and you came for recovery, either AA or NA, welcome to these rooms. And when you come to these rooms, be open-minded. First be honest with yourself. You know what I mean? Tell the truth. Be the truthful you can ever be. Like an open book. You know what I'm saying? Except the things maybe you don't want to say. You know what I mean? That it cause you harm or other people harm. Those things you can't say. That's common sense. But be open book. Be real. You know what I mean? Because being real ain't easy. And people who seeking recovery, if you are like me, who've been lying, manipulating for many, many years, you don't even know the truth about yourself. This is where you start to practice honest about yourself. What you see is what you get. That is who I am. And what I'm saying is what I'm practicing right now. Yes, I'm not perfect. I can do wrong. I can fall short. Yes, I still suffer with temptation, but I try to practice to conquer my temptation because my recovery depends on it. So you see, we come here, we don't know much, but sooner or later we learn that our recovery is opposite with our addiction. You can't be recovering and still acting with your addiction, because addiction comes with behavior, comes with character, comes with personality, comes with a different way of thinking. And recovery exactly the same. It comes with its own character, its own personality, it's a different way of thinking, of recovery way. And the best part about recovery, there's a structure, there's a guideline to follow. You see, I don't know about you, but I think if you do understand, there's one thing you can understand, that when you go to the doctor, if he diagnose you, or for example you have infection, you know what I mean, and they give you antibiotic medication. You know, antibiotic medication, it has a certain date, a certain time. You maybe take these pills three times a day. You know what I mean? 3 times a day, like lunchtime, breakfast time, lunchtime, and dinner time. You know what I mean? 3 times a day, and take this for 7 days. The antibiotic medication, if you miss a day or whatever, so they don't work properly. So in order for them to work properly, don't miss a dose. Try to take a full dose. And the recovery is exactly, it has like this. We have antibiotic medication to take. We don't steal, we don't lie, we don't manipulate, we don't act the way we used to act when we were in addiction. We try to act and behave accordingly of recovery. There's a different way of living recovering addicts, which is designed for living. So we practice the things, and we believe those who practice this way of life, they don't relapse. So if this ugly truth, it came to you in early recovery, oh my God, can you be like awakening right there before even you did the steps? You know what you gotta do. You know you have to work the steps, and not 1 step or 2 steps, 12 steps, because it's full dose. You know what I mean? It's full dose, it's 12 steps. And you gotta understand the 12 tradition. And 12, they have 12 principles. I mean, concepts in all the programs. So you have to understand the whole brochure of the program and how it works. So you see, because we don't learn just about addiction, we learn about relationship, we learn about life skills, we learn about having fun without dope or drugs or alcohol, we learn about being a people of principles, a kind of loving, a kind of people that recovery wants us to be. So we don't do our recovery, we do their recovery that we came to learn about it. You know, so all the changes comes along it because they are there. You know what I mean? They say, hey, don't worry, don't beat yourself up with they're not happening yet. As long as you practice this way, is keep practicing, those changes are going to happen one by one. They won't happen in one day. It's a process. It's not it's not like a competition, like someone is better than you or less than you. Like, no. It's not like that. You see, at your time, at your effort, at your energy, at your motivation, at your dedication, that's how you reap what you're going to sow in this recovery. So how much you sow, how much you cultivate, how much you weeded out the weeds and taking your own inventory and correct yourself, rat yourself out, police yourself, all those things that you do in a recovery for the sake of recovery, for the sake of your life, for the sake of your healthy, for the sake of your family, for the sake of the fellowship, for the sake of God, you know. Everything you do, it pays off dividend. It pays off double. So I mean, for us who were blessed to have recovery, and when I'm talking about recovery, to have a new way of life, to find the idea of God and grasp it and embrace it and enjoy it, to find this goodness, being good and being kind, and that is a beautiful thing that we enjoy being. We are blessed because after just not too long, we will become amazed that we enjoy our new being, peaceful, content, you know, less miserable, less angry, more loving, more kind, more gentle. You know, who will wish any other different? So I want to tell you that some of us, we pray, and prayer, we came to understand what prayer is about. You know, some of us, we came to introduce the idea of God. We came to try to understand what is God, who is God, what is God, you know, how God is going to help me, when, you know. See, all those kind of things, all those questions we ask, we get more understanding of the idea of God. We get more understanding of the idea of recovery. Every effort you put. So our